The distress beacon had been silent for 3 cycles when Neo found them. His salvage ship, the Meridian, had picked up the faint signal while passing through the Zerian belt, a graveyard of derelict vessels and forgotten wars. Neo had learned long ago that distress beacons in this sector usually meant 2 things: death or pirates. Sometimes both, but something about this signal felt different. The escape pod was crystalline, its surface shimmering with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space. Neo had seen a lot in his 15 years of salvaging the frontier, but nothing like this. The pod's hull was warm to the touch, almost alive, pulsing with a bioluminescent glow that made his scanner scream warnings he didn't understand. Inside were 3 girls. They couldn't have been more than 8, 10 and 12 years old by human standards, though their silver skin and hair that moved like liquid starlight told him they were anything but human. Their eyes, each girl had 3 of them arranged in a triangle on their faces, opened simultaneously as the pod's seal hissed open. The eldest spoke first, her voice like wind chimes in a storm. "You are not Velkari." "No," Neo replied carefully, keeping his hands visible. "I'm human. Neo, you're safe now." The youngest began to cry, tears that glowed like molten silver. The middle child wrapped her arms around her sister protectively. The eldest studied Neo with an intensity that made him uncomfortable, as if she were reading every secret he'd ever kept. "Our ship was attacked," she said finally. "The Velkari Syndicate. They wanted to ransom us. We escaped, but the pod's navigation failed." "Who are you?" Neo asked, already knowing the answer would complicate his life. "I am Lisa. These are my sisters, Mira and Tella. We are daughters of Empress Jathara, sovereign of the Etherian Dominion." Neo's blood went cold. The Etherian Dominion controlled 300 star systems. Their Empress was said to command fleets that could crack planets. And he had just found her daughters floating in a debris field. "Well," he muttered, "this is going to be interesting." Katniss found him 2 weeks later. Neo had kept the princesses hidden on a frontier mining colony called Rust Haven, a place so far from anything, important that even the Velkari wouldn't think to look there. He'd traded most of his salvage for a small hab unit, spending his days teaching the girls how to blend in, and his nights monitoring every communication channel for signs of pursuit. The Velkari came first, as he'd expected. 3 ships armed to the teeth, asking questions at the colony's main port. Neo had dealt with worse. A few well-placed bribes, a false trail pointing toward the Magellanic Drift, and they were gone within a day. But Katniss was different. She walked into the cantina where Neo was nursing a drink, and every instinct he'd honed over years in the frontier screamed danger. She was human, or mostly human, with dark hair pulled back in a practical braid and eyes that missed nothing. She wore the kind of armor that cost more than his ship, and the plasma rifle on her back was military-grade Dominion tech. She sat down across from him without asking. "Neo Jung," she said. It wasn't a question. "Salvager. No criminal record, but you've been in this sector longer than most people survive. 3 weeks ago you picked up something in the Zerian belt." Neo kept his face neutral. "I pick up lots of things. It's my job, not like this." Katniss leaned forward. "The Dominion has been searching for 3 royal children for 47 days. Every bounty hunter, mercenary, and information broker in 6 sectors is looking for them. The reward is enough to buy a fleet. Sounds like a lot of people are going to be disappointed." Katniss smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I'm not here for the reward. I'm here because Empress Jathara sent me personally. She wants her daughters back alive and unharmed, and she wants to meet the person who kept them safe." Neo's hand moved toward the blaster under the table. Katniss caught the movement and raised her hand slowly. "I'm not your enemy," she said, "but you need to understand something. The Empress doesn't tolerate threats to her family. The fact that you haven't tried to ransom them, that you've protected them, that means something. How did you find me?" Lisa managed to send a quantum-encrypted message 3 days ago. She said they were safe with a strange but kind human who smells like engine oil and tells terrible jokes. Katniss's smile became more genuine. "That last part is what convinced the Empress you were legitimate. The Empress arrived with a single ship, though Neo suspected that ship could have leveled the entire colony if needed. Jathara was impossibly tall, her presence filling the hab unit's small living space like gravity itself. Her skin shimmered with patterns that Neo realized were constantly shifting star charts. Her entire body was a living map of her empire. all three eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made his earlier discomfort with Lisa seem trivial. Then she looked at her daughters, and the cosmic majesty evaporated. She was just a mother who had almost lost her children. The reunion was private, but Neo heard Tella's delighted laughter and Mira's excited chatter through the walls. When Jathara emerged, her expression was unreadable. "You protected them," she said. "You spent your own resources. Risked your own safety." "Why?" Neo shrugged. "They were kids in trouble." Didn't seem complicated. To most species, it would be very complicated. 3 royal hostages could secure wealth beyond imagination, yet you saw only children. Jathara's central eye, the one that saw truth according to legend, studied him carefully. "Humanity is young. Your species has barely left your home system, but you have something my people have forgotten over millennia of civilization." "What's that?" "The instinct to protect the vulnerable without calculation, to act with kindness without measuring the cost." She reached into her flowing robes and produced a crystal that pulsed with inner light. "This is a writ of imperial gratitude. With it, you have the protection and favor of the Etherean dominion. Should you ever need anything, sanctuary, resources, justice, you need only call." Neo took the crystal, feeling its warmth. "I didn't do it for a reward." "I know," Jathara said. "That's why you're receiving one." As they prepared to leave, Lysa hugged Neo tightly. "Thank you for the terrible jokes," she whispered. Katniss lingered at the door. The Empress meant what she said. "That crystal means something. Don't lose it." "And what about you?" Neo asked. "Imperial bodyguard doesn't seem like the type to give free advice," she smiled. "Let's just say humanity has caught the Dominion's attention. In a good way. We'll be watching." After they left, Neo stood in his empty hab unit holding a crystal worth more than he could comprehend. Through the window, he watched the Empress's ship rise into the stars, taking 3 little girls home. Just another day in the frontier, he thought. Just another day being human, and somehow that seemed to be enough.